This is nScreenNoise. My name is Colin Dixon, founder and chief analyst at nScreen Media, and today is January 9th, 2015. One of the biggest stories at CES this week was Ultra HD. Of course, the televisions were just about everywhere, and there were, of course, a ton of 4K and even some 8K TVs on display at the show. And the CEA weighed in with some data, which certainly looked like the prospects for sales of the televisions are looking pretty good. CEA said that 27% rank Ultra HD as the second most important feature, behind cost, of course, which 54% said was the most important, and interestingly ahead of quality, which 24% said was important. Now, that's pretty interesting because, of course, you would expect the Ultra HD and quality to be intimately involved there. But the CES says that 1/3 of consumers said that they anticipate buying one of these televisions in the next 3 years. Interestingly as well, they said that 44% said that they would buy a smart television in that same period. Now, I think it's virtually impossible to buy a 4K TV these days that isn't smart, so clearly some overlap there. So I think a lot of people will get an Ultra HD TV when they buy a smart TV, and vice versa. They'll get a smart TV when they buy an Ultra HD TV. Now, as I reported late last year, the Blu-ray Disc Association was ready to announce their Blu-ray disc specification, and they actually followed through and did this at CES. And they had a couple of interesting additions to that specification. They said that high dynamic range would be a part of the spec for Blu-ray, but they are taking an interesting approach because they're taking an open approach to high dynamic range. That is, they can support a number of technologies, and the two of the technologies that they will support out of the gate include Dolby Vision and Philips HDR, high dynamic range technology standards. So high dynamic range, I think, will be a very important part in establishing Ultra HD in many households. So I'm pleased to see that that will be there. And finally, confirming that DirecTV will indeed be in the Ultra HD broadcasting business. They have already launched one satellite, which is already operational for Ultra HD, and a second one will go up in May. So they will have 2 satellites worth of bandwidth, which should allow them to start broadcasting Ultra HD pretty soon. Nielsen's hold on the counting of audiences seems to be loosening. CBS chairman Les Moonves, speaking at CES in Las Vegas, said that overnight ratings were antiquated and basically worthless as OTT delivery and on-demand delivery begins to proliferate. And of course, CBS launched its own OTT service last year called CBS All Access. CBS All Access provides viewers with the ability to watch the broadcast CBS channels as well as a library of content for $5.99 a month. Now, Nielsen also lost CNBC as a customer for its daytime ratings. They have decided to go with Cogent Reports audience data rather than Nielsen for those daytime ratings. And Mark Hoffman, who is CNBC president, comment, and I quote, "If we can't count the right way, we can't get paid the right way." And of course, the misery was poured on to Nielsen by Ted Sarandos, who's the head of content for Netflix. Ted Sarandos, speaking at the show, also said that there was no chance that they would be releasing viewership data of their content that they deliver anytime soon. He said that they would resist that as much as possible for as long as possible. And of course, the need for public viewership data is much less at Netflix because they don't provide advertising, and that is really the function of Nielsen's viewership data. It's to help value that advertising. And Netflix doesn't need this data because they know exactly who is watching through the marvels of the internet. They can count exactly and see exactly what's going on. But Ted Sarandis actually went on to cast aspersions on Nielsen, because you remember last year Nielsen announced that they would be counting viewership of Netflix shows through their panels, and I criticized them for the way they're approaching this, because they would not be including mobile viewership in that, no tablet PCs and no smartphone viewership. So I thought that would be very inaccurate, as much as 30 or 40% inaccurate. Well, Mr. Sarandis apparently agrees very much with that. He says that Nielsen's counting of viewership of Netflix will be very inaccurate. This is definitely something that is going to be a continuing story this year as more and more people move online. Well, do they really need Nielsen to be counting? Nielsen has been very slow to deliver those online solutions, which are just beginning to come online now. So we'll see if they can retain some of those customers in the online world that they have in the offline broadcast world as well. And if they do, you will hear about it first here at nScreenNoise. We'll see you again next time.